Another day, another appeal in the Tom Brady case. I'm Noah Coslov. He's Eddie Pells of the Associated Press. So, Eddie, the NFLPA files its appeal with the Second Circuit. They're asking for all the judges, or in this case would be the majority of the judges, to hear this. And the Boston Globe reported that between 2000 and 2010, it's called en banc, that only less than 1% of all of these types of appeals have been actually granted en banc. So is this just the expected next step from the Brady side?
Yeah, at this point, Brady doesn't have anything to lose. He's going to sit out 4 games, worst case scenario. Sometimes I wonder if both sides, if they could just have a do-over, that they might just wipe this thing out. On the merits of the case, I think it's ridiculous that this thing's been dragging on for a couple of years, and we've got a lot more important things, not only in football but in life, to be clogging up the court systems with. Brady doesn't have anything to lose at this point. I would say he's got about a 1% chance of getting a bunch of serious-minded judges to actually listen to this thing. The issue that he's going to have is that the union bargained away so much of its power by basically letting Goodell have a lot of the disciplinary action. He can do almost whatever he wants. And as a rule, except for that judge in New York who initially ruled in favor of Brady, judges don't like to get involved in the middle of sports leagues and rules and collective bargaining. I wouldn't expect this to be any different. The whole thing about the integrity of the game and things like that, is this what we're really worried about when we got, concussions and performance-enhancing drugs and all these other things? It just seems like, I'm not the first guy to say it's been overkill.
Yeah, but in this case, now it's gotten to the point where this is no longer about whether or not that Tom Brady knew about deflating footballs. This is about the power that Roger Goodell has. So if this appeal doesn't work out, then the Supreme Court is next. Please tell me the Supreme Court's not going to hear this.
Well, that's exactly the topic that they need to hear. I mean, there's all kinds of issues. We're not going to turn this into Crossfire or the McLaughlin Group, but they can't get important things decided right now with being a justice down. I would hope that if this thing ever was, sent up to the Supreme Court, that they would just boot it out of there without even thinking. I mean, what this case is really about, more than the case, is about whether a collective bargaining agreement, whether the courts can just go and undercut it. And time after time and case after case, every sport, judges don't want anything to do with it. I don't see that changing unless you were to pick up a majority of judges who were kind of like the guy in New York, who basically was just tired of the NFL's arrogance and sort of discarded many of the legal foundations of things like this.
All right, Eddie Pells of the Associated Press. I hope we're not going to talk about this story again, but I'm sure we will. Good talking to you. Thanks, Eddie.